Why is my refrigerator not getting cold enough?
It may simply not stay cold if you keep opening the door to check on how it is running.
We do not open the door that much.
If the kids have been swinging on the handle or climbed on it long enough to bend the door hinge, it is losing cold air through the gaps in the seal.
The door is level.
That does not mean the seal is even. Whether it has gaps because it melted when you tried to hold a door open with a hot pot or spilled goop that's hardened and rotted, I don't know.
I've heard of dishwashers leaking water because there was too much dish soap powder caked on the seal. I have not heard of the same thing with a refrigerator.
It could be something as mundane as the fridge light too.
If the light was on long enough to warm up the fridge, the real reason it is not cold is because the door was open way too long.
There have actually been cases where the fridge light stayed on and warmed up the fridge.
I think it is an LED light, not one of those ceiling bulbs you could warm your hands over.
There was at least one fridge model that had reports of warped plastic shells and a few fires because the fridge lights overheated.
That would be a literal song of fire and ice, as the fire alarm goes off and the freezer melts.
You can normally tell that's the cause because the plastic around the light deforms.
Or if the food on the top shelf is bad but what is on the bottom is fine.
It could be as simple a matter as airflow.
The fridge is not flat against the wall, so the heat vented out by the coils cannot circulate to the rest of the room. I know that problem causes it to be unable to cool down further.
If those coils are filthy, the fridge will have trouble cooling down too. But I was thinking of the freezer vent.
Do you mean the vent that blows cold air into the freezer?
If the vent that brings in cold air from the compressor is blocked, the freezer and fridge may not get cold enough. And if the fridge freezes the freezer first before blowing cold air to the fridge and the vent is blocked, the fridge is not cold.
It would be funny if the reason the fridge is not cold is because the freezer is too cold.
It could be due to ice over the vent or the ice cream stacked on top of it.
That's at least easy to fix, compared to a compressor leak or refrigerant loss.
It could be refrigerant loss, especially if you see ice on the fridge coils but not in the freezer.